The critic. While most are content with trivial matters like film, food, or literature, one man dares to review all facets of life's rich tapestry at your behest. In the face of life's greater challenges, there is one critic you can turn to.
I'm Myles Barlow. Welcome to Review.
Coming up on the program, somebody get me out of here. And fire up the hog, there's a new renegade in town. But first,
George Bates of Fenwick Bay writes, "Dear Myles, my wife left me last April, and ever since I've been in a rut of depression. I want to shake the black dog, but I can't seem to get my head above water. Please help, George." Happiness. How does one grasp this elusive desire?
although it was based on the lie that I was dying, being welcomed back by my family afforded me an immense feeling of happiness.
What a beautiful day! All the trees and the birds. It's wonderful.
Dad, why are you acting so weird?
Just a bit different. Don't you like having Daddy home?
Combined with her pity, my chipper outlook even began to thaw the ice between Catherine and I.
I'm just happy. I'm very, very happy.
A feeling which made other annoyances seem trivial.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh, yucko.
Well, I need a new pair of shoes.
In any given situation, I realised I could choose to be happy.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
And once you make that choice, optimism becomes second nature.
Oh yes, I'm fine. Oh, that's no problem. I'll get that fixed. That's not a lift anywhere. No, it's only a couple of miles.
I wore it as a raincoat against the waters of inconvenience.
Thank you. Well, that was invigorating.
I was so overwhelmed with joy, I needed to share it with others. I became a certified laughter leader, holding weekly club meetings at my house.
Well, we're all dying, Catherine.
Well, I just phoned the hospital to get the details of the doctor for Medicare, and nobody's ever heard of him. Or you.
Catherine's a bit of a thespian, everyone. She gets an audience and we have to do a bit of a scene, so... All right, I'll play along.
Myles! You don't have cancer, do you?
Well, not real cancer, no. Which is a big relief. Why don't we all have a laugh about that?
Get out!
All right, I'll play along. Bye-bye, everyone. I'm off to the doghouse now. Here I go. And scene. All right,
But it's easy to be happy when life is going well. The challenge begins when it starts to go downhill. Having sold my house and given all my money to charity, I was now forced to live in my car.
Evening, officer.
Evening.
Lovely night, isn't it?
You can't sleep in your car, sir.
No, we're just having a break. I'm actually on a journey, so thanks for the wake-up. Sorry about the mess.
We couldn't meet in your office?
This is my office.
Your ex-wife's lawyer called. You're 3 months
All right,
behind in
it's-
child support. She's going to sue you. You're going to lose visitation rights.
Oh, don't be like that. We can fight it. Be like old times.
No,
You and
Myles.
me in the...
You fight it. I'm no longer your lawyer.
But what?
My father died of cancer, and for you to pretend that you've had it...
Well, that's the thing about cancer, isn't it? It brings people together. It touches everyone. It's a bonding thing. Alan, I've learned my lesson.
By now, I was in complete and utter denial.
I'll get the money. I can get the money.
That won't be a problem. Or I'll represent myself. No, this is fine. No, this is good. This is learning new skills.
Cracks were starting to show. With Catherine demanding child support, I needed a bank loan.
Yeah, it's going to be straight up awesomeness. I can't wait to try that new board.
So sorry, sorry to interrupt. Aspen, it sounds like a terrific holiday. The thing is, it's just I've given all my money to charity, so if I could just get this signed off on, it'd be...
Look, I don't care what you've done with your money. This is not going to happen, OK?
Oh no, you know, you've misread me. I do have collateral, all right? I've got a car.
Right, okay.
It's a Ford Festive with a very interesting history.
Yeah. Is that, it's the one being towed?
Wait, that's my car! Stop! Thank you.
Living in a state of forced happiness meant that I'd become completely detached from my other emotions. I could feel them lurking within, building up with every setback I came across. Yet I no longer knew how to process them.
Get the money. Zoe, no, get away. Oh, sorry, mate. Oh, no, that's no problem. You have a pleasant day. Morning, kids.
Oh my God, what, you're sleeping outside our house now?
Well, I just wanted to talk to you about the child support situation.
Yes, you have this afternoon to pay, okay?
Well,
and
the thing is...
if I ever catch you sleeping out here again, I'll get a restraining order.
Bye, Dad.
Bye, kids. Bye. Have a good day. Yeah, oh, good. Well, I'm glad we sorted that out. And I'll get the money. That's fine. That's no problem.
But like a dying hillbilly clinging to his banjo, I refused to let my happiness go.
Morning! Oh, look, I'm terribly sorry, but I really need to get that loan, so if you can just show me up to the front, I can get up myself or anything. I'm terribly sorry, everyone. This won't take a moment. Thank you. 20s or 50s, whatever you've got is fine. Oh, did I take your spot? I'm terribly sorry. It won't be a moment. Just a quick withdrawal. Oh, fabulous. Thank you for that. That's all I need, yeah. So, thanks, Jody. You have a pleasant day. And you have a pleasant day, too. Enjoy Aspen. Like a family of circus clowns stranded atop the malfunctioning Ferris wheel of euphoria, my happiness reached dizzying heights. I gorged myself on the blissful fairy floss of ecstasy with such ferocity that I simply ignored the stark reality that was slapping me in the face, like the tail of a distressed beaver with its head caught in the thicket of undeniable veracity. So, George, I suggest you abandon your ludicrous desires and face the music of circumstance, however glum the tune may be. 2 stars.
Marvellous delivery, Dave.
Office cricket. A joyful form of procrastination is also an OH&S nightmare. 2.5 stars. Let's go again. Earlier this week, I spoke to Nigel Morton, who lamented he's become unproductive at work because of his constant daydreaming. Nigel says he hates his job, but he can't leave because of financial obligations before drifting off and staring into the distance for several minutes. Escapism. How far can one take this alluring distraction from the mundane?
By robbing a bank, I'd obliterated my good behaviour bond.
I have no option but to sentence you to serve 2 years.
Which meant I was off to a place extremely conducive to escapism. Prison. In no time at all, I knew I'd be yearning to escape the soul-destroying misery of this hellhole.
Oi. Feather or foam? Feathers are softer, foam's more supportive, firmer. Better for the neck.
Foam. It was a very supportive pillow, but it couldn't shake the feeling that a nightmarish existence was just around the corner.
Myles.
Yes, Bruno?
Is this light too bright for you?
No.
Just let me know if it's too bright.
All right.
After a surprisingly uneventful maiden evening, I joined the general population for breakfast.
Thank you.
I braced myself for the usual prison slop.
Fresh fruit.
Yogurt.
Contrary to countless prison films, so far I found life inside to be surprisingly tolerable.
Checkmate.
But the pleasantness of hard time was becoming increasingly frustrating. I was getting nowhere. No matter how long I showered, it was completely uneventful. My skin had never been cleaner, but I was no closer to a hellish existence from which to escape. Hopefully, an old foe would change all that.
Myles Barlow. Heard you're in here.
Actor and drug dealer Tony Hayes. The man I'd ratted out to save my own hide.
How you going, mate? How you going? Good to see you.
Don't you want to kill me?
Oh, no. I want to thank you, mate. I want to thank you. I mean, I was caught up in all this drug stuff and slitting people's throats and all that kind of stuff, and I'd lost sight of what was important, which was the craft. The craft. So I'm in here, I'm working more than I ever have at me and the blokes who are putting on a play for the other guys, and you should be part of it. You should totally be part of it now you're here. It's basically about this fading Southern belle who comes to live with a sister and brute husband, and it's set in like 1940s New Orleans and...
A streetcar named Desire.
What?
Tennessee Williams.
I find that I depend on the generosity of people I don't know.
Tony's plagiarised production was the closest I'd come to a life of tedium.
Everyone. Myles, well done.
It was time to be a little more proactive.
Oh. Drop the soda.
We take sexual harassment very seriously at this institution. Putting you in separate confinement for a week.
The whole? Great. Finally.
Take them away.
At last, I was all alone with nothing but my thoughts. Boredom and loneliness consumed me as I longed to be anywhere else. Any distraction was a welcome relief. My stint in solitary marked the sinister turn I was looking for.
I heard you like it wet.
Word of my flirtatious shower conduct had spread like nits in a kindergarten.
Look, sunshine, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
But my torment didn't end there.
You said you weren't angry anymore.
That's called acting.
Tony!
And this calculating bastard takes his knife to his own
Quiet! Shut up, both of you, will you? Shut up. I'm going to transfer you to the violent prisoner wing.
Look what he did to me!
Well, it's only your word against his. And frankly, I find his story more convincing.
That's because he's an actor.
Oh, take him away.
He's a very, very convincing actor. He's acting. It's just...
And that's enough out of you. Go back to your cell.
Yeah.
I hoped my new cell might offer some respite.
Hi, Myles. That's my bunk.
Oh, sorry.
That's my bunk too.
Daydreaming of time with family provided glimpses of escapism.
Tony Hayes says g'day.
But these moments were much too fleeting, and often ended painfully.
Sweetheart, you get the door and I'll take one last look at freedom.
There was no escape from Tony's directorial tyranny.
What does that say?
A play by Anthony Hayes.
So whose nuts are going to be in a vice if you fuck this up?
Yours.
Mine. Give me your nose. Give me your nose! Put it in. Give me your nutsack. Give me your fucking nutsack! Come here! Let's go from from the top! Calm, people, calm. Let's start again. First positions, thank you. Myles, please, can you join us? Thank you.
Myles, put the wig on.
I told you, Crazy, I'm not allowed to bring the wig back.
Use the pillowcase again. Put it on.
My existence had finally become a living hell.
Barry Jaworski! Stop it right now!
Chance, come on, I got your ticket. Come on, Chance.
Opening night in front of the entire prison.
I have heard enough, mister!
But this shoddy production couldn't relieve my anguish even for a moment.
Hey, she's your sister. I never asked her to come here.
Mere escapism was no longer enough. I needed to escape.
Hey, I mean, she's your sister. You take care of her. You take care of her. You let me out of this.
Ironically, in the end, I was forced to escape from my own escapism. Like a banana reading a Tom Stoppard play to a bowl of nectarines, this may sound absurd, but as I wandered through the supermarket of perceived excitement, I found myself trapped in a vegetable section of tedium, with only the wilted carrots of mundanity and the shallots of monotony left to choose from. Of course, when I finally reached the frozen food section of fun, the glee had all but melted, causing me to steal some frozen yogurt of freedom in an effort to feel alive once more. So, Nigel, I'd be very careful of daydreaming if I were you, lest you find yourself on the run from the law, as I have. 2 stars.
Roadkill sandwiches, while somewhat justifying the animal's death, are a repulsive, pungent, surprisingly filling snack. 1 star.
And now it's time for our letter of the week. Alex Pine of Warhope writes, Dear Myles, last Saturday night I was denied entry to Transcendence by a bouncer because of my shoes. Who do these people think they are? Why should they get to decide who's right and who's wrong? It's ridiculous, don't you think? Alex's rejection highlights a basic human need, that of acceptance.
The desire to be accepted is established early on in childhood. But the key lies in finding those with whom you belong. As I was now an outlaw on the run, who would accept me?
A bourbon, please. Neat. Well, gents, how about a round of drinks on me, hey?
Get your hand off me back.
I like your style.
You like my style? What do you like about it? Well, what do you fucking like about it?
Don't worry about it.
You fucking hero.
You're a fucking bro. Idiot.
Fitting in can be a challenging process. But I wasn't about to give up on my potential new chums.
My name's Myles, and I'd like to join your club.
You want to join our club?
Yes, if possible. I've already got myself a motorcycle.
I'll tell you what, Posty. You go and burn the Diablo's clubhouse down, and then come back and talk to us, and we'll think about letting you in the club.
Of course, seeking acceptance can mean proving oneself to your would-be peers.
comes just as police
You
have
fucking did it.
seen any escalation of the so-called bikie
Let's just say the postman always delivers.
responsibility. In other news, ongoing union disputes.
Fucking how's this going, eh?
But the initiation didn't end there. Taunting rival gangs, for example, was all part of the test.
Which one of you faggots parked in front of my bike?
Hey, Ryder, is that your mum's scooter?
It was comforting to know my new friends were there for me.
I think it's learning lesson. Thank you.
And while ultimately it's about companionship, acceptance is a reciprocal agreement. It means accepting what the group does as well.
The restaurant. Yes, Nugget.
Ask him where the safe is, mate.
Certainly.
Fucking hurry up.
Where's the safe? It's in the cellar. It's in the cellar. Oh, if you can grab me a couple of bottles of Grandfather Port, I'd appreciate it, Nugget.
But all in all, I was just happy to be a part of the gang. Living as an outlaw became a non-stop adventure of exhilaration. And because we were all in it together, the way of life felt completely normal.
I'll say John Adams.
Correct. He's the second president of the United States. Well done. It's a piece of pie. Have you seen the HBO series on him?
Nah, I missed that.
I've got it on DVD. I'll lend it to you. It's very good. It's a very interesting portrayal of.
Look what we did. Get him all hot, you poops. Thanks, mate. Hurry up, they fucking burn him.
Acceptance even afforded me a safe place to open up about my feelings.
Catherine really doesn't want to know me at all. You know, I'm not allowed to see the kids. I started a cult, which in hindsight, really didn't know what I was doing. Pretended I had cancer and I was dying.
And good friends know how to cheer you up.
Postman, when you first fucking turned up here, I dead set thought you were a fucking joke. Yeah. But, over a period of time, you proved me wrong. Postman, with this, you officially become one of us. Posty, there's just one last thing.
Finally, my colours of fellowship were immortalised in the urine of acceptance. But acceptance can be a fickle mistress. One wrong move, and it's all too easy to end up on the outer again.
This footage of escaped sex offender Myles Barlow
Spacey's on the fucking telly,
outside
boys.
secondary school.
You told me you were fucking in for fucking armed robbery.
With a suspended sentence,
Well, yes, I was, but well, it's a long story. Basically, I was charged with having sex with a minor, but I did a deal where I gave up a certain drug dealer in return for my freedom, and well, then I broke my good behaviour bond with the bank robbery. So it's
Back the fuck up. You're trying to fucking tell me you're a fucking pedophile and a fucking rat?
well, that's a very simplistic way of looking at it.
I'll give you fucking simplistic, but I'm gonna give you fucking black and fucking blue.
Catherine, don't hang up. It's me. Catherine.
Myles.
Oh, thank God. God, I just didn't know who else to call, so I just...
Just calm down, Myles. There's something I need to tell you.
Yes, there's something I need to speak to you about as well, so just... All right.
Myles, I didn't know what else to do. So, okay, so I've done what I thought was the best.
No, look, that's the thing. I've realised that the only people I really belong with are you and the kids. All right, and you're the only ones who accept me. It's taken me so long to realise this.
You used to be such a good
Just listen to me, all right? We're gonna move to Brazil.
Brazil?
Yes.
Myles, that's a harebrained idea. Shh. I'm so sorry, Myles.
Like a gaggle of grotesquely overweight children vying for a spot in the recess soccer team, we all yearn for acceptance. But in the schoolyard of natural selection, you quickly realise that you cannot force others to accept your inferior ball handling skills. And ultimately, we must first accept the sinful donuts of our past, as they ooze forth with a strawberry glaze of irrevocable consequences. Dripping in these sticky ramifications, you cower away in the library of ostracism. But it's here that you discover the Dewey Decimal System of solitude. And like a narcissistic hand model in a haute couture glove store, you reach the conclusion that an acceptance of yourself is the only glove that will ever truly fit. 4 stars. Coming up next week, bed lice, prison toilets, and prison romance. My, those pants look nice on you, Vince. Oh, all that and more next time on Review.